Hey guys, what's up? It's Austin and welcome back to my channel. Over the past couple months, I've acquired quite a few new makeup products into my collection, so today I just wanted to sit down and test them all out for you guys and see how they all work together. Today's video is going to contain mostly drugstore items, but I do have a couple high-end items as well as some indie brand items as well. So if you're interested in me testing out some new products, just keep on watching. First things first, we need to fix these crusty ass lips. This is the Mario Badescu Lip Balm. So far I've been loving this. I've had this for about 2 weeks now and absolutely love it. Lip balms are one of my favorite things to have. I'm always testing out new ones, and honestly this is a pretty great one. It is infused with coconut oil, so if you do have a coconut allergy, definitely would stay away from this, but other than that, it's pretty great, very moisturizing and hydrating on the lips. If I just leave my lips dry and crusty, I tend to bite at them and they end up peeling and bleeding, and it's just a whole cracked ass mess, okay? No one likes some crusty lips, gal. Get you some damn lip balm, okay? Alright, I'm gonna start off with some face products and then we can do the eyes last. For primers, I picked up two new ones. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and this one is the CoverGirl Pore Minimizing Primer. I decided just to pick up the mini one and the primer. That way it'd be easier to put in my travel bag if I end up liking this one. I'm gonna use this one as the base primer, and then I'm gonna put in the pore filling primer around my pores. Now I'm just taking the CoverGirl one, and I'm just gonna target that in my more porous areas, right in the front of my cheeks. Before I go into foundation and concealer, I picked up this Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Highlighter with jojoba oil. I also picked up the bronzing stick as well that we're going to be using later on. I just want to start off by applying the highlighter to the high points of the cheekbones, just to see if we can get that to radiate through the foundation. Okay, bitch, she is really out here, okay? Well, shit, I forgot to wet my sponges, so I'll be right back. And now that I'm back with wet sponges, I'm just going to take that sponge and just lightly blend that in. Look at that. Look at that glow, bitch. She is gleaming. Hi, how are ya? Alright, Miss Physicians Formula, she really came through with this highlighter. Next, I'm going to move into concealer. I picked up two shades of the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I went ahead and picked up two shades since they are pretty cheap. I figured if I got a lighter one and a darker one, if one of them didn't work out, I could always mix them. I'm just going to start off with a couple dots of the darker one. Then I'm just going back in with the lighter shade, placing a little dot in the middle. And we'll see how that works out. Can always add more if we need it. Alright, not too shabby. It seems like that concealer is laid down very nicely underneath. It doesn't seem to be emphasizing any of my texture under there, so that's really nice. And I actually think that those two shades mixed together works out pretty nicely for my skin tone. Now let's move on into foundation. I picked up the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I'm just going to start off with one pump of that on the back of my hand. I'm just going to go ahead and distribute some of that over the face so I can blend it out. Compared to the rest of the face, it does kind of seem like this shade is a little too light for me, but actually, when I pull back and you see my white ass fucking neck, bitch, we matching the neck, Henny. Ain't playing no games, y'all. It also seems that that highlight is coming through pretty nicely on the skin as well. Just based off that first layer, it looks like I got about medium coverage. I can still see some of my dark spots and redness come through on the sides of my cheeks. I'm gonna go in with the second layer just on the cheeks to try and build that up. Now I'm just going back in with a little more concealer. This is the lighter shade that I picked up. By the way, the light shade that I picked up is L100 Fair, and the darker shade I picked up is L600 Light Nude. And this is what both of them look like. So I'm just going to go in with the lighter shade. Just help brighten that area a little more. I'm just going in with a little bit of that darker shade on the outer edge. And gal, it's time to blend. And with whatever is left on the spine, I'm just going to hit some of the chin and on the forehead, just to bring that a little bit forward as well. Now that I have that concealer all blended out, it's time to go ahead and set it. I picked up the Wet n Wild Photo Finish Translucent Setting Powder. That's what it looks like. Let's get a little peel porn action in here. Come on, ASMR. Hi. Gonna take that same beauty sponge, just pick up some of that powder, and just set that in place. It seems that applying this powder underneath the eyes, it did smooth everything out. This is the translucent shade, however, you can see it does have kind of a yellow tint to it. You can also kind of see right there in the pan as well. It's just a little too dark for my skin tone. As you can see, it's a little more yellow underneath my eyes versus what the concealer looked like before applying powder, which is totally fine. I just wouldn't use as much of this powder underneath the eyes. I would actually just go in lightly with the brush and just lightly dust it under there and call it a day, versus actually packing it on underneath the eyes because it does have that yellow tint to it. But other than that, it did a great job at filling in the pores on the skin. So, well shit, I just looked over and I forgot that I didn't use the Physicians Formula bronzer. This could go horribly wrong, but I'm just gonna put it on top of the powder. We'll see how it goes. Instead of going straight in with this one, I'm actually gonna put it on a brush and blend it out that way. I'm gonna try this on the JH05 brush. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on the back of my hand. Whoa, that looks a little orange. So anyway, I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on the back of my hand and work off of that. And see how it goes. Like I said, this could go terribly wrong because I did apply that powder, but you know, we'll see. You know what, it actually doesn't look too terrible. It is a little orangey. Not gonna lie, it is a little orangey, but you know, once I put a cool tone powder bronzer on top of it, it should be fine. It's not doing too terrible on top of the powder. I will say on the forehead it does look a little patchy. Again, probably just from the powder because I'm an idiot and didn't lay my creams down before my powders, okay? Sorry fucking about it. It'll be fine. I'm just going to take a little bit of the Catrice Prime and Fine Multi-Talent Fixing Spray. I'm going to apply this over the face. I'm going to blend it out with a beauty sponge. This is really just going to help melt those powders underneath and help blend everything nicely into the skin. Next I'm going to go in with the powder bronzer. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 01 Sunlight. It's just more of a cool toned bronzing shade. It's really great for pretty fair skin. Just going to take this and dab it right over top of the liquid bronzer that we just laid down. Also just taking that bronzer and running it down the neck as well, just to make everything look cohesive. You see that? Now I know it's winter, but gal, I just want to look sun-kissed as fuck all year round. Is that too much to ask? Hello. Next I have two blushes I'm going to be testing out. This one is the Ciate London Marbled Light in the shade Halo. This is what that one looks like. And I also have this Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Coral. This darker one right here is Ciate London and the lighter one is Maybelline. Just going to start off with the Ciate London one on a Morphe JH04 brush. I'm just going to start applying this to the cheeks. I really love the luminosity that this blush leaves behind. It just gives like a very skin-like lip from within finish on the skin. It's very lovely. Also really love that shade as well. And I'm just going back in with the Maybelline one, just layering that on top. I feel like this one is more of a blush topper. See how I added just more of a sheen on top of the other blush? Now that we have all those powders laid down on the face, I'm just going to be going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. Just going to pick that up on the Morphe JH01 brush. I'm just blending this all over the face just to help diffuse everything out and make it nice and blended. This powder does have some coverage to it as well, so it really helps diffuse everything nicely on the face. Look at that. Not too bad. I'm also going to go back in with some more of that Wet n Wild loose powder, and then I'm just going to carve out these cheeks a little bit. Now that we've kind of cut that out, I'm just literally just going to blend it away. Honestly, you guys, all of the skin products looking pretty great at the moment. Even the foundation is doing pretty great. Really love both of those blushes. Did go a little ham on the blush today, but it is what it is, gal. Also have a new powder highlighter palette. This is the Glow Getter Volume 1 by Private Society. And this is what the unicorn looks like. It's so pretty. Then it has a little plastic seal on the front with a little logo on it. So awesome. Let's go ahead and open this up. I haven't even swatched this palette yet, so we're gonna be learning this bitch together, y'all. Alright, so this is what the front of it looks like. Oh my gosh, look how mesmerizing that is. Unlike your typical palette, it actually has a clasp that goes all the way around that front edge and lifts up. And this is what the inside of the palette looks like. Yes, bitch. Oh wow. That bitch looks blinding. Alright guys, even applying this to my hand, they blend out super nice on the skin. I'm gonna take my Morphe R36 brush. This is what I use for highlighter. I'm gonna go in with these three right here. Tap off the excess. Oh. Definitely a nice reflective highlighter. I love that I can start off sheer with these and just really build them up to very intense highlighters. Picking up those same three shades on the other side as well. That's all of the products that I have for my complexion. We're just gonna go ahead and move into my brows. This is the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Defining Pencil, and this is in the shade Deep Brown. I ran out of my e.l.f. brow pencil recently, and this is the one that I picked up to replace that one. Just to kind of test it out and see what all the hype is about. I'm not doing anything too crazy today. I'm literally just going in with hair-light strokes. I'm just adding some definition to the brow. I'm gonna go ahead and set that in place with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. This one isn't a new product for me. It's just a really great brow gel, and it's super affordable as well. Just gonna take this and run this through the brows. For eyes today, I'm going to be using the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival XL Pro palette, which is in collaboration with Stacey Marie. And just look at all these colors, gal. You got everything under the sun that you will ever need. I've had this palette for about 4 months now, and I've only dipped into the neutral shades and the blue shades. So today I'm going to be dipping into some of the purple and red shades. Starting off with the shade in Lust on a Makeup Shack T33 brush. I'm just gonna start placing this down in the outer V and building up that color. This shade definitely looks more red in the pan, but when you blend it out, it looks more pink. Not really mad at it, just is what it is. Now that we have that shade blended out, I'm just picking up a little bit of Persuasion. And again, just packing that onto the outer V just to create some depth. Now I'm just going in with a smaller brush. This is the Makeup Shack T63. I'm picking up the white shade called Pillow Talk. Just gonna take this right underneath my brow and blend in that pink shade up to the brow bone. Next I'm dipping into Wasted, which is the bright purple shade. And again, just layering this up in the outer V. Next I'm dipping into the shade Reckless, as well as Wasted, just dipping back and forth, tapping off the excess. Again, just building that up in the outer V just to help create some more depth. I'm just going back in with that Makeup Shack T63 brush and just softening out all of these edges. Now that we have that depth built up in the outer corner, I'm just going to be going in with the shade Temptation on my middle finger. I'm going to be laying that down on the lid. Now that I have the general shape of that laid out, just going back in with another T63 brush and just blending in the edges to soften them out. I'm also switching back over to that brush that still has the purple on it. And just flicking that inward just to help blend that metallic shade into those mattes. Next, I'm dipping back into Wasted on a Morphe JH40 brush, and I'm just going to take this on the lower lash line. Next, I'm going into the shade Reckless and just deepening up this outer portion of the eye. And lastly, for the eyes, I'm dipping into the shade Pink Me on a Morphe JH39 brush. This is just a small bullet brush. I'm going to go ahead and dab this on the inner corner. Also going to run this on the inner corner of the lower lash line as well, just to help brighten up that area. Dipping back into that shade again, but this time I'm going to spray it with some setting spray, just to really intensify that shimmer. Next, I'm going in with this Morphe liner in the shade Linda. I'm going to be running this in the waterline. Since we're already zoomed in, I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. Recently, I picked up the Essence Lash Princess mascara, and this is the one in the green tube. And so far, I really like it. It's very voluminous, very lengthening. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes beforehand though. So that's what we're looking like just after one coat, with mascara, without mascara, side by side. Nice. Not too shabby. And I believe this mascara was literally like $4. I'm telling you guys, you really don't need to spend a lot of money on mascaras. There's some really great ones at the drugstore. And to finally complete the eye look, I'm going to be going in with some false lashes. I'm going to be using these right here. These are the Makeup Shack All I Know lashes. You can also use code ROCIO to save some money off of all of the Makeup Shack products. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these off camera and I'll be right back. And last but not least, we're moving on into lips. I have two lip products here by Alamara Cosmetics. This right here is the lip liner in the shade Dulce, and then I also have the lip gloss in the shade Chula. I'm just going to go ahead and apply both of these real quick, and then I'll give you guys a rundown of all of the products that I tried out today. Alright guys, this is the look all complete using all of the makeup that I've recently added to my makeup collection. Starting off with the primers, I really enjoyed using both of them today. For the Hydro Grip one, I will say that my foundation laid very nicely over top. And as for the CoverGirl one, I do notice that it did a pretty good job at filling in the pores. Up next we have the CoverGirl True Blend Concealer. I really loved how this concealer blended out on the skin, and it was also very full coverage as well. It felt a lot more hydrating on the skin when compared to something like Tarte Shape Tape. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative than Tarte Shape Tape and something that's a little more hydrating, I would definitely check these out. I was truly shocked by how blinding but yet lit from within this cream highlighter was. It was honestly amazing. I can't wait to try that out again. As for the bronzer, I did like the bronzer. It was more on the warm side, but honestly, once I went in with more powders and blended everything out, it seemed to work just fine for my skin tone. So this is definitely something that I'll be trying out again as well. As for the Milani bronzer, I've been using this a lot recently, and it works out really great for my bare skin. So if you're in the market for a new bronzer, I would definitely pick this one out. It's pretty great. I do want to try out this Wet n Wild translucent setting powder again. However, the shade just shows up a little too yellow on me. So I think what I would do is, instead of going in and packing it on with the sponge like I did, I would just take a little brush and dust it underneath there just to set the eye. I found that it really helped smooth everything out and also fill in the pores around my more porous areas. Probably just not the best for my skin tone to use underneath my eyes. Moving on into the blushes, at first I thought this Ciate London one was going to be a little too deep for my skin tone, but it actually turned out to work really nice for my skin, and I did like the illumination that this gave off as well. As far as the Maybelline one, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like this is more of a blush topper or a no makeup day blush, if that makes sense. It just gives a very nice glow to the skin, even more so than the Ciate London one did. As for the Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder, I've been using this a lot. I actually carry this with me when I'm not wearing any makeup just to touch up my oily skin because I do have pretty oily skin throughout the day. And I just take this on a little brush, dust it all over the face, and we're good to go. It also adds a nice hint of luminosity and helps smooth everything out on the skin even when you're not wearing makeup. And that's a pretty awesome effect. However, this gal is a little bit expensive. Let me tell you, Charlotte Tilbury is a little expensive. I understand we got metal packaging, but she's still a little cheap metal, okay? Overall, I have been really enjoying that powder. As for the brow pencil, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't too waxy on the brows, and it also wasn't too soft that I feel like it wouldn't last throughout the day. Honestly, you guys, personally, I don't feel like I need to go out and buy the Anastasia one anymore. I just reach for my drugstore brow pencils. Things like the e.l.f. brow pencil was really great. That's what I used before this one. So far, this one has been pretty great as well. So honestly, you guys, if you're looking for brow products, you don't need to spend it on the high-end ones, okay? Just go to the drugstore, pick up a little Maybelline one, and you're good to go. As for the eyeshadow palette, would highly recommend. You guys, literally every color under the sun that you would ever need. This would be perfect. Get it. This would be perfect for working makeup artists for sure as well. And I can't wait to dip into more shades with this as well. As far as the mascara, if you're looking for voluminous and lengthening mascara, this is definitely gonna do it for you. And she's very cheap. She's like $4 or $5 at Ulta. I'm also really digging these lashes. They remind me of the House of Lashes Iconics, which are one of my favorite styles. And these are cheaper. So, hello, use code ROCIO for money off your order, gal. And last but not least, we have the Alamar lip products. I've really been enjoying the lip liner in the shade Dulce. It's just a nice nudie brown, and those are my favorite ones to use. As far as the gloss goes, it's just very gloopy and very like thick and heavy. For me personally, I prefer a gloss that'll glide easily on the lips, and it's very like silky on the lips versus something that is very sticky and gloopy. However, if you do like a thick gloss, this would be a good one to try out. And I've also been really enjoying the Mario Badescu lip balm. Honestly, it's a lip balm. Everyone has their own preference. Fix your damn crusty lips. And last but not least, the Private Society Glow Getter highlighter palette. Honestly, you guys, I can't wait to use this again. Like, look at this highlighter. She is beaming. Hello, she is showing up. She's pigmented. Gal. I hope you guys liked this video of me testing out all of the new products that I recently added to my makeup collection. If you did, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next time with another new video. Bye guys.